Welcome to the Nightcap. It's your girl Cindy Burbano in for Carolina Sanchez. And tonight we are talking love, relationships, dating. But how about dating with children? It just changes the whole dynamic, doesn't it? We're gonna get into that, but first we're heading over to the bar with my friend Duan from Dean's. Duan, welcome to the Nightcap.
What's up? What's up? How we doing?
Oh, I'm fabulous, but I'm gonna
good.
be even better when you tell me what drink we have here.
We have the aviation for you today.
Ooh,
A little bit of gin, little cherry, little creme de violet.
That
Give you
looks
a little
good.
lemon spritz right here.
All right, let me
There you
try
go.
this. This just sounds so tasty. Wow.
Not
This
bad,
is great.
not bad.
Yeah, you're gonna have to tell us how to make it
Of course.
in a little bit. And you guys at home, get comfortable. Put the kids to sleep, okay? Because we're about to get into it.
Yeah, what's up for a nightcap? Chill, you know, kick back.
Welcome back to the Nightcap. We are talking relationships, love, dating, but especially dating when you have children. Tonight, I have two very special guests. They're both single and ready to mingle, but we'll find out if they really want to date people with kids. Victoria Angelica, welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
And of course, we got Damon Martin. Welcome to the Nightcap.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna just jump into it. A little birdie told me that you are like absolutely against dating men with children.
Yes.
Why is this?
It's just too much work. No one wants that baby mama drama. It is. Yeah. It's there's a lot of boundaries you have to respect, you know, you can't cross them. Do you really want to raise someone else's kid too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't have any children. But what if you meet that one person and he is, everything's great, he treats you like a queen, he is such a gentleman, and then maybe by the second date or so he tells you, hey, by the way, I have a child. Would you break it off?
More than likely. More than likely, just because there's a lot of different factors I'll have to look into. Is he the type of person that is mature enough for that? Am I mature enough for that?
Yes. How old are you?
I'm 22, so I don't have
Oh.
too much experience with it either.
Yeah. And then you
Yeah.
want to probably have your own kids, so then you
Right.
throw that in the mix and it gets a little bit more complicated.
Right.
But I also feel it's a little bit different between men and women. And you, Damon, are you okay with dating women with children?
It wouldn't be like my first pick, but you know, I'm open to the idea of that being something that could work out. And that, like, you know, I have my fair share of experience with women who have kids, and some sweet, some sour. And I can
Well, tell me the sweet one. I want to hear that one first. What was that experience?
That
Did
one-
she have more than one child?
4.
4?
Yes.
So, okay, so she introduced you to the soccer team. I'm just kidding.
Pretty much. And I mean, with her, it was like very PG-13. You know, there was nothing like that escalated to like an intimate level. However, you know, she was independent, zero baby daddy drama, killing it with her work.
Wow.
And had full custody, which is wild. Like 4 kids.
Well, that
full
says a
custody.
lot. I mean, she was busy, and then she had time to date, because that in itself is difficult. I mean, the dating world is not an easy thing. Then you throw in 4 kids in the mix. What happened? Why didn't you stay?
It was 4 kids.
Was it that? At the end of the day, that's what broke it?
I feel like it wasn't even that. It was just I was in a stage in my life where, you know, I started making a little bit more money. I wanted to explore more options,
Right.
and you know, I didn't really get to experience dating at the level that I wanted to, you know, and like meeting the people that I wanted to meet. So I was not in the best space to be entertaining a relationship.
Okay, but you also mentioned that you did have a bad experience, a sour experience with a woman with kids. What was that?
That's the one that almost took my soul.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no. With that one, it was, you know, she was living with her baby daddy, and I knew her while I was in a 6-year-long relationship as friends, and we would always be like each other's confidant, you know, like supporting each other, because
Right.
she had her problems, I had mine, and I was.
And then she's probably going through a divorce or separation,
Right,
whatever it is.
separation,
Yeah.
And you know, so there was a lot of like interest and relatability we had going on, and we developed a great friendship through our conflicts. And, you know, I ended up breaking off with my ex, and, you know, she was breaking things off with said person, and it turned into us, you know, having a little love triangle, which I thought was just between us. And, you know, it sour because there was a lot of communication on her part that didn't follow through with what was actually going on. You know, narratives that she created for me to believe that wasn't all the case. And, you know, in my mind, I'm like, you know what, this is the first time I've ever dealt with a woman that lives with her baby daddy, and I'm just trust that she's actually done with him, and she has her plan, and she's executing on it, and leave and, you know, go through legal measures to achieve that. And it turned out to be quite the opposite.
Oh my goodness.
Not necessarily, but, you know, it's a lot, when you're dealing with a woman in that situation, it can be very drama rich.
Yes.
Especially when you have a baby daddy like hers, who's, you know, up in the ranks in corporate America.
Yeah,
So-
but that's the thing is, you know, when you're dating these women with children, it comes with a package. It comes with a lot of history and maybe ex relationships and all that. But, you know, we heard about two singles. You would say absolutely not. I'm not dating a man with kids. Or you're kind of like on the fence, maybe yes, maybe no. But coming up next, we have two singles that have kids. Has it been hard for them? We're going to find out. That's it. Up next. Welcome back to the Nightcap. It's your girl, Cindy Burbano, and we have a couple of guests that are pretty funny. Single Stacy B, welcome to the Nightcap. And Jay Bradley, welcome to the Nightcap. We are talking love, relationships, dating, especially when you have kids. I know your kid's a little bit older, Stacy.
Yes.
How has it been? And I know you've been out in this dating world for a minute. I mean, we know it's hard already.
Yeah.
How has it been when you tell them you got kids?
Oh, I really don't care about what they say. All I say is, do you have a house we can go to? Because you can't come home with me. I got kids there.
That's right. That's right. But have you ever been turned down, or do you feel like men are like, well, no, she's got a kid, and then they kind of not
No.
being serious?
I've never had that experience.
Oh, that's wonderful. So you've always had, and you have not had any issues.
No, but my kids are grown too. Like, I don't have like a little 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. I'm not going to YMCA sports anymore. My kids are in the big leagues, you know.
Yeah. You're not meeting the other parents at the parks anymore.
No, we're drinking together after the game.
That's right. That's right. Jay, I know you have a younger child as well.
Yeah.
Okay, how old's your child?
10. My
10.
youngest is 10, my oldest is 19. Yeah.
Okay, and how do you see this dating world, especially when you got kids? Do you have full custody or half custody?
So
What is that?
for me, I'm not really, if I'm dating somebody, we'll talk about kids, but we're not introducing kids. You're not gonna, you know, like you're not gonna sit down with my daughter and at dinner, you know what I mean? You got to be vetted for probably close to a year, if not a good 9 months before you even get around the little Bradleys. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Now
so-
that's a little too long.
Look, I got to make sure you stay in a while.
If it takes you, if you got to figure it
year?
out for 9 months to a year, then they don't need to be around your kids after a year anyway.
Look, man, look, you know how private I am. And
I
I'm even
know.
more with my babies, man. And so I never want my daughter to be like, oh, auntie, and then have like 20 different aunties and they're all just women that I've dated.
Yeah.
We don't need that.
But
we don't need that.
But I feel like that's like so ridiculous. I don't know. Have you experienced this? Well, you know, when it's like an old thing, like when people introduce the new man or the new lady, and it's like auntie and uncle, and then it works out, so now it's Uncle Daddy. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's so
Right.
weird to me. I'd be like, this is Mr. Whoever.
Right,
But
exactly.
I've never, my kids, nobody's made it long enough to meet my children. I did have this one guy this one time, like a year ago.
Yeah.
He introduced me to his daughter already. I was like, dang.
Yeah.
But
It's
you
been
were
like
together
a month?
a month?
Because Cindy, you know me. I have a 60-day
Yes.
trial period.
Yes.
Well, when we talked last, it's
Yeah.
been reduced to 45. We on the Walmart time. We on Walmart
You slashing
time.
prices. You slashing prices. You
Roll
Zorro
them
out
back,
here.
roll them
You
on
Zorro.
back.
It's the great value over here. Okay, so you give them about 45 days. You're meeting their children prior to that?
No, this one guy, introduced me to his child prior to that. I was like, you ain't have a nanny.
Did you know you were gonna meet the child?
No. I didn't know
my
she was at
gosh.
home. So
He definitely got 20 to 30 aunties. You know what I mean?
I didn't have to have a whole play date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You thought you was coming over there to play with him, but at the end of the day, you weren't playing with the little girl.
The help was me. The nanny was me. I guess people look at me sometimes and be like, oh, she's a good mom. So they feel safe with me. But as a mom, I'm looking at it from the perspective of I would never with my kids.
Yeah.
Right.
I would never.
You're being more
So now my
protective.
policy is okay. Now,
No,
now we
not
said
9
it.
months.
Look, it just
Now,
depends.
if y'all officially go together, they can meet the kids.
Okay, where's that boundary that you let your next partner have with your children?
Really, I mean, I don't need somebody to come in and be mom,
Right.
right? Like I've got that. Like they have
Yes.
great mother, and my kids aren't really out of pocket. So you're not really gonna have to. I can give them an eye contact, that old school like, and they're gonna straighten up. You know what I mean? I don't have to throw a shoe. We don't have
Right.
to yell.
Not
but
la
everybody,
chancla.
No,
yeah,
no,
we're
no.
not doing all that. So it's gonna take me a while to zip up
No.
my boots. By that time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so for me, you can just be pocket and be girlfriend. I'll take care of the rest of that. And at a certain point, when y'all have a relationship, but you're not just stepping in telling my kids what to do. You don't need to. They are really, really chill.
In
Okay.
other words, Jay and I don't have badass kids at home,
Yeah.
which has also been a reason why we've been able to date the way we have been, because whenever people do meet our kids or our friends, they're not these little badass
When
kids.
you say
running
we,
around.
it sounds like we already got the same last name, so it sounds like we're a couple and we're out here doing some extra couple stuff. You know what
Well,
I mean?
you know I go
You
with
said-
my other last name.
I know.
and not
I'm
our
just
shared
saying.
one.
I'm just saying.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Well, what would you give the advice out there for all the people that do have kids that are struggling with dating? What would you tell them? How do they make this work?
One word for me: wait.
Yeah.
You know, wait
for the
like,
right person?
Wait for the right person, because you don't want your kids confused, like I said, with all these uncles and aunties out here. And on top of that, like, you as a person are maybe still figuring out who you are in dating. Like if you've been in a marriage for 20 years and then you're out here and you've got kids that are younger, then all of a sudden you're having to figure out who you are in this moment. For me, if I'm dating somebody that's a single mother and I come into their kid's household, right? I don't want to do that. If it's a little boy, he's the man of the house. I don't care if he's 9 or 5. He's the man of the house. Let's meet somewhere outside of the household. Let it
Yeah.
Mickey D's, or maybe we go somewhere fun and we just kind of have like okay, let's test the waters out, a trial period, a trial, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like a little coffee date for kids or whatever
you
case
go.
is.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
go from there, so that way there's not this barrier of like, okay, well, this is my domain and he's sitting on my couch next to my mama. There's no boundaries here that are being crossed. So where I
Yeah.
want the kid to feel comfortable and we
Or
figure out from there.
threatened, you know, by this
Yeah.
other man. And for example, I was single and dating for 7 years
Right.
with a little girl, and that was one of my main things. Is I'm not gonna be the person that goes out and today it's John, next month it's Peter, and there's whoever. Like I'm not gonna do that. So when I met my husband, that was my first thing I told him. I said, I do have a little girl, and I'm sorry you're not going to meet her until this is really going somewhere. And when I'm talking going somewhere, I mean like we're getting married
Right,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Within months, I had a ring on my finger.
I was about to say,
How
guess
long
you
was
did?
it?
Got married.
What was the intro period?
4 months.
4 months.
Yeah, and then after that, but we're also grown. We're
Yeah,
not,
we're
we're
grown.
not playing house, and we're
Right.
not 20.
Right.
Like you know what you want. You got to be focused. You also know what what is best for your child.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not gonna be in, I'm not gonna stay in the relationship once they meet. If there is something there and she's just not having it, listen to your kids. That's another
Absolutely.
advice.
What I love hearing from y'all, as like me, what you said it on the back end, and Cindy, she's always said it. But like, instead of waiting to meet someone, wait to meet yourself first. For
Yes.
those of us who've been in long relationships with our children's other parent or whatever, like you need time to make sure your aura is right. And that's why I don't have to go out here looking for a man, looking to date and stuff, because they come to me because my aura is checked and clean. And just like
That's
you
true.
guys, like you were already radiating because you were ready.
And you were complete, and
Yeah.
you know. But
you
guys,
Yeah.
We attract what we are, right? Like
do.
once you get into the different version of yourself that you're becoming, then you attract what you are, not what you've been.
Amen.
And it looks
I love
different.
that. I love that. And we're going to attract the other singles that we were talking to earlier, the ones that maybe don't date singles with kids, or maybe they do. This is going to get real, okay? That's all coming up next. Welcome back to the Nightcap. It's your girl, Cindy Burbano, and we have been talking love, dating with kids, and of course we have our friends Stacy, Jay, Victoria Angelica, and Damon, our singles with kids, with no kids. I want to talk about something that you said behind the scenes. When Damon was here in the other segment, you were mentioning how you were kind of involved in a little bit of a love triangle. This lady had kids, but she was still living with the husband. It got complicated. What did you have to say?
I just say you were the other dude. You the side dude, and you didn't even know it. Like you built this friendship with this lady, and she was playing with you the whole time. It's so different seeing it from the other side. So how do you feel about that now that you know?
Not too bad, because I was also doing the same thing with like 7 different women.
Oh my gosh, what is going on? Don't even get me started.
I mean, I came clean with it. I let her know. I was like, hey, listen, don't feel bad, you know, because honestly.
Because I don't either. But that's kind of where it goes.
Right, but I heard him say she tried to take his soul. Now he's singing another tune.
Well, because I cut everybody off. I isolated her because she tried to show me proof. Her and her baby daddy weren't never doing anything. She showed me a lot of screenshots of them talking about how we haven't had sex in like 2 years or whatever and blah, blah, blah. So I felt bad. I'm like, you know what? Out of all the girls, I liked her the most, so I cut everybody off.
But it didn't burn you? Like you would still date women with kids as of right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that would be kind of like Jay.
Kids are not a fact. I love kids, you know, so it's like.
Jay said he'll only date women that have kids. You prefer the women with the kids.
You know, there's just something about a mom that once you've had a child and you've cared for somebody else and you have something that's, when you're a parent, your kids are bigger than you.
Yes.
Right? Like you'll go broke, but you'll make sure, like you might have some peanuts, but you're gonna make sure your kids have a burger and some fries. And there's something that's selfless about being a parent. And so if you're going into a marriage, I think that's also a prerequisite. Can you be selfless? Because there's gonna be some points in that marriage if we're looking at long term. Right now, if we're just looking at hanging out and dating, that's something different. You ain't gotta have no kids, whatever cases. But if we're talking about long term, I want somebody that can do that part of marriage, because I can do that part of marriage because I have 2 kids.
Victoria Angelica, Jay was mentioning in the other segment that he sets boundaries. You know, he doesn't just introduce them at the beginning. He's not looking for that woman to come be the mom. With that said, do you think that maybe you can change your perspective on men with children if they were to behave this way?
I think I would, yeah. I think I can. If they were as mature as that, or there were boundaries in place, because, you know, I'm only 22, so.
You're going to have to get you a puppy daddy, girl.
Baby boy.
No, but I mean, eventually it's not like you are there to take a role as a mother or going to have to be doing that, but more of a partner. So with that said, you could do it. It's just
less pressure.
Less pressure.
Can I say something?
Yes, please do.
Directly to you.
Okay.
My son is 25.
You about to hook her up.
And he's cute.
Can I send y'all on a date? He don't have any kids.
We can see about it.
Let's talk
He
backstage.
might have been looking at it as an option before you go in trying to throw the ball out the play. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness.
He sounds like he's in need. He dropped his 7. You know what I mean? She don't have kids. You know what I mean?
Look,
like no baby daddy deal with.
It's fair game.
You know what it is? It's the air of singleness from here over here. It is just, oh my goodness.
Things are in play. The ball is in motion. You know what I mean?
You're giving worthy daughter-in-law. I'm sorry. Look at me acting like a mama again and not a single.
Guys, you guys at home, stay tuned because we're going to go over there to the bar. Dwan is going to tell us how to make this fabulous drink, and we're going to try to keep this matchmaking. I don't know what is happening here. Welcome back to the Nightcap. We are behind the bar with the one and only, because we're about to back that glass up. All right, Dwan, tell us what it is that we were drinking, delicious, and how do we make it?
We're gonna be making the aviation. It's an equal parts drink. It's got equal parts lemon, a little bit of gin, a little bit of cherry, and a little bit of creme de violet. So it's real easy. We're gonna go 0.75 on everything, which is really simple for an at-home recipe for anybody to make. You don't have to really necessarily do too much.
You can't really mess it up.
Not really. As long as you pour equal parts in there, the only part that you really are worried about is the stirring part. And that's of course, because you're trying to like at least water the drink down a little bit.
Yeah.
Because this is necessarily nothing but alcohol.
Dawn, I know that you work at a bar, and of course you're a bartender. You meet a lot of people. Are you single?
Yeah.
Okay, have you met ladies with children? Are you opposed to dating?
Of course, I've met ladies with kids. I've met ladies without kids. Me, myself, I have kids. So it is, like I heard earlier, they were saying it is easier to date somebody with kids because they already know the responsibilities that you're dealing with, that you have to do. So when it comes to explaining, oh, I have to go to a soccer practice or this or a PTA meeting, it's kind of already understood.
Yeah.
Dating someone without kids, some that goes with communication. If you communicate with people, I feel like any other therapist will say, like, that's the most important thing. So that's kind of just how it goes. Either way, I think it works. It just depends on the case, the scenario, and the two people that are involved. And it can
Well, you know, we've been matchmaking all night, so you might as well give them your Instagram, your handle, so somebody can reach out to you. You're single.
For the people who know, I'm the one and only. You can also find me at It's Man on my food page.
And
you
there
never
you
know
go.
when the
And
next
his
move
only
is.
fans. I'm just kidding.
It's only pans. Only pans.
Only fans. That's right. Salud. We'll see you
It's
guys
me in the
next
same
time.
apron.
We've got every episode of the Nightcap, and we can go for hours. Download the Fox Local app on any of the following smart TV platforms and get in on the fun.